Hey everybody, it's One Key, and tonight I'm going to talk about kind of my thoughts on how the NA LCS has started. So I'm including week 1 and then week 2. I was thinking about doing a video for week 1, but after some careful consideration and talking to some people, I decided to just wait till week 2, see how things ended, and plus I kind of wanted to see teams with their full roster because NVS didn't have Lyra until week 2. So I want to kind of talk about that. I'll in this video also talk about I'll give hints to my like what I thought the power rankings were gonna be, my power rankings, not everybody else's. I kind of was thinking on a different spectrum for power rankings, and I kind of regret not putting a video out about it. But um, this is kind of like my video that's going to kind of sum up everything. And first, I would also like to apologize for not putting out a video sooner. I've been very busy, and just really no excuse other than that. Sorry, guys. Alright, so let's get into it. So, if you haven't been watching the NA LCS for the first 2 weeks, these are the current standings at the end of week 2. We have Cloud9 in first, and then we have a three-wave tie for second between TSM, FlyQuest, and Phoenix 1. Two of these are actually probably big surprises to everybody. One of them, to me, is a big surprise. The other one isn't, and I'll let you know in a second. Then we have a two-way tie for fifth place. For fifth place at the end of all of it between Echo Fox and Immortals. I'm kind of surprised at Echo Fox being this high, and then I'll talk about that. And then we have another three-way tie with Team Liquid, Dignitas, and Counterlogic Gaming. I'm actually really surprised by all three of these. And then rounding out the last place is Envy, and I'm not really surprised by that, but I will give some of my thoughts on that, and I'll let you guys know about that in a second. Alright, so Cloud9, I thought they were going to be a top 3 team. I think the big thing for them was going to be contracts. This guy right here. He's actually proven to be a really good jungler and a really good player. Kind of a sub for Meteos. I'm kind of glad that he's probably one of the few and only I don't think we have a true rookie this split, because he did play a little bit last season. So, but if he's probably the closest thing to a rookie that we have, and I'm glad, him and Acadian, and I'm kind of glad that he has really done well for himself. And because of contracts, we've had a couple good games. Now, I am surprised they have played Ray. At least I've seen one game with Ray. Most of the time they stuck with Impact, but they did see one game with Ray. And if I'm correct, that did result... Oh, he played twice. Oh. I missed the game. Sorry, guys. So he's 1-1. But Shen's a pretty good champion. Alright, so now we'll go on to the three-way tie for second. And first, of course, is my favorite team, TSM. I also thought they were in my top 3 on my power rankings, so I'm not really going to go much to them. They've done really well. The only thing I could say for them is I think Wild Turtle kind of needs to step it up a bit. Him and Biofrost need to kind of get a little bit more on sync. I know today that Double, if confirmed, he is coming back next split. I don't know how that's going to go. It all depends on how well TSM does. If they can keep at 1 loss, or if they kind of slump. Now, I know to everybody's big surprise, FlyQuest is up here. And FlyQuest is really just Cloud9 1.5. But to me, I thought the reason FlyQuest was actually my top 5. And here's the reason why they were my top 5, is because you had Balls, High, and Lemon. And these three are like the staples from the old C9 roster when C9 first got in. But really, you had the main shot caller from C9, which is High. And I think he has done a really good job. And then you had the kind of brilliance elimination back. He kind of the one that pioneered the support role. And I think he's going to do that again this season. I mean, he didn't pull out the Camille support, Gate did, but I feel like that would have been something Lemon would eventually have pulled out if nobody else had. But I think the big surprise for everybody was Moon. I mean, he didn't do too well last season as the replacement for Rainover, I believe. Yeah. I think he stepped in for Rainover a couple times. Or not Rainover, Dardoch a couple times when Dardoch was going through that like moody phase, and he didn't do too good in the challenger scene either. But he has really come out and he's really shined. He's done really well, and I congratulate him for that. But also, FlyQuest is kind of one of these things that I'm gonna do a video about this later, but FlyQuest shows. I think FlyQuest is kind of a reason why we shouldn't have a spring split anymore, and I will talk about that in another video. But these guys have shown that even though the five of them are like veterans, like complete veterans, been around since season 3, they're still a dominant force, even though a lot of them counted off. Like, I know a lot of people thought Balls was going to just get destroyed. I know a lot of people question High's ability to just play. I mean, not his ability to shot call. He was a great shot caller. He still is. But a lot of people thought his injuries were just kind of always going to keep him at the bottom. And as we can tell, they haven't. And then Lemon, a lot of people thought that, he would just move into a coaching role. And that was it. So, I'll do a video. I'm going to do a video about why I think Spring Split is kind of pointless and shouldn't be around anymore. And these guys are a main reason why I think they shouldn't be. Alright, so moving on. And the other team is Phoenix 1. They were not in my top 5. They were actually number 6 on my power rankings, and that was because I thought they were going to have a hard time communicating between the bottom half of the map and the top half. Like, I didn't think Zigger and Nori were going to do as well as they have. I knew Rio was going to be a bomb. I knew Arrow was going to be good, really good coming into it. I didn't think Adrian was going to have his great way to kind of like, I don't know, communicate with Arrow, but apparently that hasn't been as big as a problem as a lot of people thought it was. So I think they're a big surprise. I really thought that Fixer was going to replace Adrian eventually, like by the end of this week, but you don't need that when you're tied for 2nd place with TSM and FlyQuest. I mean, I think they've come up really big, and I hope they keep going. It seems like the communication issues that everybody thought they were going to have isn't a big problem, and I hope that they can just keep it up and kind of show that good players, when put on a team, can do really well regardless of communication. Alright, so the 2-way tie for 5th place is Echo Fox and Immortals. Echo Fox, I'm kind of surprised they're up here, that they're 2-2. I thought if anything they'd join this 3-way tie for 7th place and they'd be 1-3. They pulled a really interesting win out against FlyQuest towards the end of this week. That's about it. Immortals, I'm surprised to see here, especially with people like Dardoch and Flame. I think if Immortals want to make any headway with this, I think they need to start considering to replace Poe Belter. I actually think he's become the weak link on this team. I really hope he hasn't. I think if they can find somebody that has kind of a higher ceiling than Poe Belter, then they can do better. Olay and Kodu-san are doing okay for communication issues, but you could tell in their 2 losses a lot that they are having some communication issues. I think given some time, Flame and Dardoch will do amazing. I think these guys will do some amazing things together, and they're going to kind of be the reason why Immortals probably won't drop into relegations, but I think Belter right here is the main reason why we may not, if they don't find a replacement, we may not see them in the top 5. Alright, and actually, I'm going to touch on Echo Fox a little bit, because I am surprised about them. They've done really well. I really thought Froggen was just going to keep going downhill, but he's had some good games. Keith has had some good games, Acadian's had good games, but Looper has kind of lived up to his legend a little bit, being a world champ. And then Gate has actually done a pretty good job of being support, and I think he's also been the one that kind of communicates between these guys. So, I mean, I hope they can keep it up. I don't really think they're going to be able to go the long haul. I think Froggen is going to start having some problems keeping up, and I think Acadian, I think he's had a good burst, but I think in the end he's actually gonna hit a brick wall pretty soon. Alright, so the three-way tie for 7th place is a huge factor to me. So in my top 5, I had C9. This isn't in order. I had C9, TSM, and then I had these 3 teams who were tied for 7th in my top 5. No, wait, that was wrong. It wasn't. I think Liquid wasn't in my top 5. Yeah, because I had Cloud9, TSM, and FlyQuest. Sorry, guys. I keep forgetting who's in my top 5. So my top 5 was Cloud9, TSM, FlyQuest, they were number 5. And then I had Dignitas and CLG. They were number 4. And then my top 3 was actually, I had a 3-way tie for, first it was Dignitas, Cloud9, TSM. I actually thought Liquid wasn't going to do as well this year. And because I don't think Lorlo's that great of a top laner. I think he's actually he's not the best top laner. I'm surprised he's still on a pro team and not on a challenger team. With all the top lane imports we've had recently, I'm kind of surprised that, if you don't know who Lorlo is. I'm kind of surprised Lorlo is still around. It's sad to say, but Reignover hasn't had that great of a split starting out, but I think he'll get back into his stride. We have Golden Glue, who's done okay, even though in the past he has choked a bit. And then Matt and Piglet have been holding their own, and then their mid is actually Link. I want to see if he's played. Sorry. No, he hasn't played yet. I think we might see Link coming in the week 3, but we'll see. I hope he gets some practice time in. We'll take a notice, but I think if these guys really want to win, they want to get up there. They need to replace Lorlo, and I think they need to give Link a shot. Just saying, Team Liquid. I think that's what you guys need to do. Because Reignover's a really good jungler. He was the best jungler last year in NA, and yet he's feeling like he's completely useless on this team. Now, the team that I thought was in a 3-way tie for first was Team Dignitas. These guys had a really good name coming into it. I thought Someday was going to do amazing, and he's kind of been able to hold his own with Maokai and some other big name champs. Chaser's done okay. Keen, Laud's done alright, and X Special's done alright, but they just haven't been able to sync correctly when it comes to team fights. Someday either gets there too late or gets there too early, and they just... It seems like communication issues are really cropping up between their top side of the map and their bottom side of the map. And Keen really isn't doing anything to help. I think if anything, they might want to think about replacing Keen. They don't really have a replacement for him, but I think Keen may not last the split. We'll see. I think Laud and X Special are holding up against their own pretty well. I know they're notoriously known to be the bottom tier player, like like statistic-wise, they're actually probably one. I think they're the like at the bottom of all the 80 of all the bot lane combos, but I actually think they're holding up pretty nice. I just think it's their top side. I really think this is a team where communication is really becoming a problem, I think. And we'll see how it plays out coming into the next couple weeks. CLG, I don't really want to talk about them. They're really disappointing me. I feel like we do not know everything that's going on inside the gaming house. I think things are going to start changing come summer split. This may be the last split we see this roster. I feel like Darshan may be gone after the split. I'm sorry, Darshan, Zion Spartan. I still call you that. You're a better top laner. I think if the meta ever switches to carry top laners, then he may have a resurgence. But other than that, I don't think so. And I'm gonna do a video about how I'm on my disappointment with NA in general. When it comes to champ select, and then that's another video I'm gonna do. I've been debating a couple of videos. Okay, so I'm gonna do some more, guys. I promise. This week's gonna be my video week. All right. So I don't really want to talk about them. They've been a pretty big disappointment. They've lost some clutch team fights, which have lost them games, and it's just I feel like it's kind of getting stale in the CLG house, and things need to get mixed up. They were the only team that stuck with the same roster, and normally that's not a problem, but I feel like now it has been with all these imports. And then last place is Team Envy 0 and 4. I mean, I had higher hopes for them. I mean, we'll see. We have Seraph, and now Lyra's back. I think he got to play 1-2 games. Oh, he got to play 5 games. Okay. So he got to play all weekend. Did he have a win? Oh, he won on Kazakhs. He just got into the States, so I feel like next week is going to be their kind of week 1. Well, we'll see what happens. I mean, there's not much to say about this team because they just got Lyra, they just got their full 5-man roster, their starting roster back up, so Ninja's back in the mid lane because he's been playing, I think he was playing jungle. Yeah, he was playing jungle, I think. Yeah. See, he was playing jungle. Oh, never mind, he's online. So, I mean, we'll take a look in a book because it's Reading Rainbow. I think, did Alex? Yeah, Alex each played. So, yeah, he had to play. So, I mean, next week is going to be kind of their first week with the full main roster. We'll see how it goes. I think they're actually going to do really well. I think Seraph is going to start doing better because him and Lyra, I think they're actually going to be kind of like the lane to watch, the two players to watch in week 4, and hopefully that can kind of translate to more wins for them. All right, so next week will be the week for Team Envy to really prove what they've got. All right, so that's all I got, guys. I'm gonna do, like I said, I'm gonna do a couple more videos throughout the week about I just have really big disappointment with the NA LCS as it is this the split so far, and then I'm gonna talk about kind of like why I think that the spring split is just useless and how if I had a pro team we would not take it seriously. We wouldn't take it 100% seriously. Alright, guys, so that's all I got for right now. I bid you all adieu. Have a great time on the Rift. Go out there and get some pentakills, because I know I can't.